Joining us now, former Assistant U.S. Attorney Andy McCarthy. Andy has been leading the charge. He's got a lot of insights and his perspectives. He's a must-read. He's a great writer. Andy, you just heard Senator Scott's interview. What did you make of the search of the president's beach home? It feels disingenuous, staged, like they're running out the clock. You know what I mean, Andy?
Well, I think there's probably two things going on, Liz. On the one hand, I think you're right with respect to the Biden team, in the sense that, this is something that really should have been done back in November, 2 months ago. And obviously they've had a long time to do this, to do the search. Now, let's remember, even though they had plenty of time to search the Wilmington home, that didn't prevent the FBI from finding more classified documents in it. So they haven't been particularly good about doing whatever searches they've done. But I think on the other side of this, we heard that Robert Hur, the special counsel, began his work today. Today was basically his first day on the job. And I think it's kind of a no-win position for him, in the sense that if he didn't have the FBI do a search like this, he'd be roundly criticized for it. So I think it's the kind of box you have to check as a prosecutor. You may say to look, in the cases that I did as a prosecutor, I don't remember ever, calling the FBI, calling the suspect and saying, "We'll be at your home in a few weeks to search it," right. So get ready. But at the same time, if you're her, this is kind of something you have to do.
So is it in Special Counsel Hur's purview, Special Counsel Hur's purview, to look at how the Hunter Biden, the Biden family cashing in on the president's government jobs, how that fits, it syncs with the timeline of what is going on with these classified documents? I mean, does he have that in his remit to look at that too?
Yeah, I think this is, you're hitting on something that's really disturbing, Liz, because when Garland, the Attorney General, picked a special counsel for Trump, he was given a very wide remit in terms of what he could investigate. My understanding is that with respect to her, he's narrowly been authorized to investigate the classified documents. And in part, that's because the other investigation that you're talking about has been under the supervision of the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, Weiss. And what people don't generally know about this is, because they've been carrying the Hunter Biden investigation as a tax investigation, even though I think Hunter Biden's taxes are like the least interesting part of that investigation. But I think it's telling that they've done that, because tax investigations are always run out of Main justice. And whatever district the taxpayer who's under investigation is in, the Justice Department still has a very heavy hand in the investigation. So I've always thought it was interesting that they called that a tax case.
Well, it's now a 4-year probe. We're coming into year 5 of it, right? So, and now it could involve money laundering, foreign lobbying violations. I mean, a lot of questions about emails that keep coming out of Hunter Biden's laptop. By the way, the laptop information has been authenticated by the NBC, the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, and more. We reported on this. I don't know if we talked to you about it. April 2014, a week before then Vice President Joe Biden flies to Ukraine, Hunter puts out a detailed 22 bullet point email about Ukraine and Russian escalation of violence there to his business partner, Devon Archer. Kept saying, quote, "This contract with my guy is going there. It needs to be done not after the upcoming visit of my guy. That, my guy's upcoming travels to Ukraine should be characterized as part of our advice." There's also another email where he's, talking about Russian oligarchs and giving information about them to Alcoa. We don't know if that's true or not. This is conjecture in terms of, trying to nail down the provenance of these emails. But when you see, Andrew, when you see what's going on and how deep they got into our adversaries and making money off of that, it's astounding.
Yeah, it's astounding. I also think, as an investigator, I thought this was a really good catch, by the way, by Miranda Devine, who, she knows that laptop from having written the book about the laptop from hell, as she put it. The email you just described, Liz, stands out in the email communications of Hunter's because it's so detailed and it's so differently written than anything else he's written. So if you're an investigator, what you would want to know is, did the CIA or some other intelligence agency at a time roughly contemporaneous with that email, were they giving briefings to Obama administration officials? And can we deduce from that that Hunter got his information from Joe? I mean, it's a pretty common sense thing that you would do as an investigator, and you have to hope that's going on.
Are we supposed to suddenly believe Hunter Biden is a geopolitical expert? He's an international consultant, an expert in energy, and he's an expert in China, Russia, and Ukraine. And that we should be paying for his advice singularly because he's has that much expertise.
Well, I don't know. I just read someplace that he's also the next Rembrandt, so maybe he's much more talented than we thought.
All right. Well, we'll see about it. Hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Andy. We'll see you again
My
soon.
pleasure.
Okay.